Hi, my name is Joe. I am a sound engineer, studio engineer. I'm working on my home rig right now. Got Pro Tools 9 running, and I'm going to be showing you a couple things that are neat in Pro Tools that'll give you advantage over a analog rig, whether it be reel-to-reel or what have you. Overall, a digital rig is going to give you one main thing, and that's ease of use. So the first thing I'm going to show you here is probably one of the most important technical things you can do with a digital rig that you can't do with an analog rig. So I'm selecting a region of audio. Again, this is Stir It Up, Bob Marley. So I'm selecting a region of audio. Doesn't matter where it is. And I'm going to hit the delete key. Now, in analog, this is literally cutting out a piece of tape, meaning you have one section of tape ahead, one section of tape below. You change the space in that tape, you're going to change the tempo of the song, which is bad. If you try to put that piece back in, again, not a good idea. However, in digital, we have an advantage. So what I can do is go ahead and select this region, get rid of it, and then use the trimmer tool and bring all that audio right back. So this is called non-destructive editing. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is something called beat mapping. It's especially important for songs like this. What's a Bob Marley song? Recorded most likely multi-tracking, meaning the whole band is playing. Probably 24-track, but multi-tracking. So the whole band's grooving together, which was important back then. And what that means for engineers like us is that more or less they were not using a metronome and they were not in tempo for the whole song. Now, typically, not a huge deal, unless you're trying to mash or do any kind of DJing with this song, where you have to take the song and fade into an electronic song with a steady beat, or mash it with an electronic song. Very hard. So what we can do to compensate for that in Pro Tools is something called a beat map, which is essentially setting the overall tempo of the song, and then going in and identifying for Pro Tools, telling Pro Tools where the downbeat of every single measure is throughout the song. What this will let us do is eventually adjust how the Pro Tools sees the song, the language it reads in essentially, and will let us adjust we can go ahead and change this. So let me see what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm going to set a tempo change in here. I'm tapping T, which is allowing me to tap tempo in the general tempo of this song. I'm monitoring it with headphones. So looks like, yeah, we're going to be right about 77 BPM here, which is typical reggae, slow reggae tempo. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the song over and listen in for the downbeat of the first measure where most of the instruments come. And this starts with like a reggae electric guitar, most likely played by Bob Marley. So I'm listening in here, I'm waiting for the downbeat, and boom, right there. That's where the downbeat is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in real tight on that area. As you can see, it's this transient right here. Okay, and I'm just going to listen to it a couple times, make sure I got it. And now I'm going to zoom in real tight to get right on that transient, right at the beginning there. Now I'm going to hit Control-I. It's going to bring up a beat marker. And I'm going to say, yes, add this beat marker. So now I just told Pro Tools, this is the downbeat of what is technically measure 3 of the song, but it's really what I'm calling the first measure where the song actually comes in. So I'm going to, again, listening here now for this is the beginning of the 4th measure of the song, or the 2nd, according to me. Actually, let me back it up a little bit. So this is the transient for the downbeat of measure 2. And I'm going to mark it here. I'm going to take a guess here, just going to go in quickly. Right about there. And again, drop my beat marker. So that's the downbeat of measure 2. So now we have 2. We officially, designated 2 downbeats. I'm going to listen here again for another one. Found it here. Going to zoom in a little bit closer. And let's take a listen here. I'm going to bring it right here on this transient on this right channel. The bass is more heavily panned to that channel, and it's really carrying the rhythm right now. So we're going to go ahead and take the beginning transient of that bass signal coming in and drop our beat marker there. And let's listen for another one here. Okay, right here. Again, we're going to drop another beat marker. So we're designating this is going to be our 4th downbeat, or the first beat of another measure. So this is beat 1 of measure 4. Listening again, here is our beat 1 of measure 5. Drop our beat marker in. All right, and maybe one more here. Let's see. Okay, got it here. All right, drop my beat marker in. Basically do this for the whole song. And now, let's see. All right, let's just get one more in. Because what I'm going to show you is I'm going to zoom out here, and I'm going to show you how the tempo is changing over time. It's not going to be... Oh, that shouldn't come up. It's not going to be a huge difference, I can tell. But, yeah. So we're changing by, a couple thousandths of a BPM. However, even that slightest variance proves that there could be a greater variance over the rest of the song, and I wouldn't be surprised if it changes by a few whole BPM over the song. And while that's great for reggae music, it's got that flow. When electronic DJs are trying to mash that with their song, and the song they're mashing doesn't have a steady tempo, that's going to cause real syncing problems for their electronic music they're syncing it with that has a perfect steady BPM.